Hi everyone, my name is Tim Keller, Mayor of Albuquerque. And we're going to get started with our Kids Town Hall. So I want to welcome everyone and also let folks know we are going to be recording this. So if you tune in later, we'll be able to put it up online. So first, I'm really excited to answer questions from kids like all of you. And I know it's very important right now for us to understand what's happening to our city and to each other. But I also know that there's lots and lots of curious kids out there, including my own. I've got a 4 and a 6-year-old, and Jack and Maya wanted their stuffies to participate. So we have Bunny, who's actually obviously a reindeer, but called Bunny, and then Yago the owl. And so they're here too to help us with some questions. So we want to first also thank the parents and everyone I know with kids being home alone, not home alone, but home away from school, that this has been, in many ways very challenging and very stressful, but also lots of special moments with our kids. And I also want to thank APS for the online learning programs and the meals for kids. And I know we're all doing lots of Zoom calls and having technology challenges and trying to teach our kids how to use a mouse. All of this is just part of the world that we're living in right now. But I want to thank everyone for hanging in there and doing a great job. And so also, of course, let's thank all of the folks who are essential, all the parents who do have to work, whether they're healthcare workers, folks working in our first responder system, and even grocers and so forth. Thank you so much for all that you do. So I think with that, I know we have lots and lots of questions. So let's get started.
Hello, and my name is Finnegan, and I'm 6, and I'm in 4th grade, and my question is, how long ago did coronavirus spread into Albuquerque? Thank you, bye.
Thanks so much, Finnegan. Great question. And really the answer is March 11th is when we first found out that it came to Albuquerque. But we actually don't know because not all the folks who have the coronavirus have symptoms, and it might have actually been here for several months before. But that's the first time we were aware of it. And so we do know that, of course, it's been in America for several months, and it really started just coming out of the holidays throughout the rest of the world. So since we heard about this, we've been taking these actions like all of the stay-at-home orders and all of these things like canceling school, because we found out about that first case. We wanted to protect everyone else. All right, so I think we got some more too.
My name is Elisa. I'm 12 years old, and how different is this virus from other viruses that have happened in the past?
So this virus is the novel coronavirus, and that basically means that it's new. So it's part of a family of viruses that have been around a long time, like the flu that we all get. But this particular version is different, and that's why it's been so hard for us to understand what to do. And what happens is basically, over the long term, we get used to these different kinds of viruses, whether it's the flu or others, and also medicine catches up, and we're able to deal with viruses. But when there's a new one, it takes us a while to actually catch up. And that's what we're doing right now, is we're trying to follow a lot of these rules so that we can give our hospitals and our research laboratories time to figure out how to deal with this new virus.
Hi, I'm Knox, and I'm wondering if the zoo animals are getting taken care of in the quarantine. Bye.
Thanks so much, Knox. I have great news for you. The animals are definitely being taken care of. So our zoo, all our veterinarians have been taking care of the animals, and you can even watch some of them online. So if you want to see the penguins, just have you or one of your parents or an adult type it in, Albuquerque Zoo penguins, and you can kind of keep up to speed with them and even watch them getting fed.
Hi, I'm Riley, and I am in 1st grade, and I am 7 years old. I was wondering if I'm safer from catching coronavirus than my parents are since I'm a kid.
Thanks so much for that question, Riley. And the virus affects everyone. I think that's what's really important to know. And it also means that even if people who maybe have been sick for a while, it might affect them more, the important thing is that all of us can carry it. And that's why we want to keep these distances away from really everyone other than our direct family. Because we do know the virus can infect everyone, and it can also be carried by everyone.
Hi, Mayor Keller. Thank you for keeping our city safe. I just wanted to ask, why do some parents go to work and some don't? Please answer the question. Bye.
Hi, Tyler. Great to see you. And also a very good question. Basically, when it comes to parents of different types of careers that they might be in, it just depends what your parent's job is. And so for some parents, they might be working in grocery stores, or they might be working in hospitals, or they might even work in government. And so they actually do have to work. And for other parents, they might be able to work from home. So I know for a lot of folks, they still have to work, but a lot of kids are getting a lot of time while their mom or dad might be on their computer doing conference calls and things like that. So that just means that they do have to work, but they're working from home. And then there's some parents that don't have to work, and they can be able to spend more time with the kids. So it really just depends on the type of job they have. And basically, if you have a job that is able to be conducted from home, people are working from home. And if you do have a job where you can't do it from home, but it's really important for like our public health, or to keep our city running, or even to help our country, all of those mean that parents do have to go to work. And we have tried to make sure that there are some places, just in case, kids can go if their parents have to work. And so you can visit any of our community centers if parents need a place to take their kids if they have to work or in that situation.
When is dinner, Papa?
Hi, my name is Cora. I am in grade 3 and I'm 9 years old. When can I see my grandparents? And also they have a pool, so if I can see them, are we allowed to go in their pool if we don't go inside their house? Bye, thanks for all you do.
Aliana and Cora, those are such good questions. And I know too, for our family, for Jack and Maya, they have both sets of grandparents in town, and we desperately miss them. And I know this is a challenge too for many of us who are raising our kids as a more extended family, including for our own family. So the answer to your question is basically not yet. It's too soon really to be hanging out with your grandparents. But we hope that sometime in May, we're going to get some clarity on how this might be able to work, and maybe there's some different ways where you can be able to see them but also stay a little bit far apart. Now, with respect to that swimming pool, also a good question. It is okay to use a swimming pool. The water is perfectly safe and fine. But public pools, or public pools with other children or other adults that bring us together, it's still too soon to do that. And so you might be able to use a swimming pool, for example, with your parents. But probably right now with your grandparents, it's best just to stay socially distanced and try and call them on FaceTime or down the road, we might be able to see them in the next few weeks with new kind of regulations on just staying physically far apart from them. So stay tuned for more, and I hope you get to see them soon and do some swimming.
My name is DJ, and I'm 9 years old. My question is, what is Albuquerque doing differently than other cities that is keeping us safe?
Thanks, TJ. Albuquerque is trying to do the best we can during these times, and we've done some things that I think have been really helpful. First, we've tried to make sure that all our hospitals have enough, they call it PPEs, that's really the masks and the gowns and the gloves that they need. And so far, actually, Albuquerque's done a great job with that. We've also tried to make sure that we keep our parks open. So our parks have been able to stay open thanks to everyone who's done a good job staying separate and using the parks and then going home. And we've also been able to keep our open space open similarly. So enjoy those open spaces, stay separate, and then come on home. And we've also actually tried to keep certain things like our construction industry going, because they usually operate outside and at a safe distance and with protective gear anyway. So for kids who have parents in construction, we've been able to keep at least some paychecks and so forth flowing in that way. So our city's done some special things. We've also tried to make sure that we have information coming out in different languages, like Spanish and Vietnamese. And we're also really trying to help our seniors. So we have delivered 75,000 meals to senior citizens in our city. And so that might include some of your grandparents, and it's a great way the city's been able to be helpful. We also have emergency centers still open. There are 4, and there's one in each quadrant of the city. So if you do need a food box or you need access to food stamps and so forth, you can go to one of those health and community public health centers for the city. So those are all things Albuquerque's doing to try and keep us in a good place.
Hello, my name is Jeremiah. I'm from West Mesa Community Center. I have a question for the mayor. Do you like your job? Is it challenging?
Thanks, Jeremiah. That's a fun question. And I actually love my job, and it's also challenging. So I get to do a lot of fun stuff, like I hang out with trash trucks a lot, and police cars and fire trucks, and get to go to the zoo all the time. So that makes it really, really fun. But it's also very challenging. So I have to work a lot of hours, and I have to try and make sure that all the things that we've been talking about can actually happen in our city. And so it does take a lot of patience and some good support from my family too.
Hi, Mayor Keller. My name is Miguel Angel Cordova Vigil, and I have some questions for you. When can we go back to our soccer teams and baseball teams and basketball teams and just all our teams that we missed? And I'm just asking, when can we go like fun places like Fallout and, you know, different cool stuff? Bye. Thank you.
Hi, Mayor Keller. My name is Nicholas. I'm 7 and I'm in the 2nd grade. And my question is, when can I start practicing with my city basketball team? And we also won the championship last year against the #1 team, Blacktop.
Well, congratulations, Nicholas. Good job beating Blacktop. We're proud of you. And also, Miguel, great question. And so this is something I know, and I miss sports so much, and arts, and crafts, and all the different programs that we're used to. So here's really the answer to your question about all these different fun things. In May, which is coming up very soon, I believe we're going to be able to slowly start opening up some of these fun things. So stay tuned to some announcements. I hope that by the time we get to June, so after Memorial Day, we're going to be able to have sports again. And in the meantime, in May, we might be able to open up playgrounds in a couple of weeks. And so I hope that as we get into the summer, in June and July, that we're actually going to be able to have the same kind of fun that we were having, but it will be different. It might mean that there's fewer people on your teams, or it might mean that there's fewer people in the stands who are watching, or it might mean that we're playing in different areas and more outside. So there's going to be lots of changes, but right now the city is planning to actually have all of our summer programs open in some form or another. And so that's a really good thing. And we're also going to walk through what happens if maybe you know someone who does test positive. If that's the case, you might have to stay home for a few days and get your own test. But we'll give you some good instructions so you'll know what to do for that. Also, I know 4th of July is coming, and so we're going to try and find a way to at least have some fun city fireworks that you can watch maybe from your house or on TV or from your car.
Mayor, thank you for keeping us safe. My name is Penny, and I'm 9 years old, and I'm in 3rd grade. My question is summer camp for this year going to be canceled? Thank you. Bye.
Hi, Patty. Thanks so much for your question. And what we're trying to do with all our summer camps is we're going to try and have them. So the good news is, right now, the news is good, but they're all going to be different. They might start on different days. They might not go as long as they did before. They might even be in different locations. And they also might be a little bit different. You might have to hang out with a small group of kids the whole time, so that we can make sure that if somebody does get sick, that we know who has to get tested. So we're going through all of those different things. You might also have to get a thermometer check each morning when you come in that just checks your temperature. But if we do all that, if we can be okay with some of these different rules, I think we're actually going to be able to have lots of our summer camps this summer. So stay tuned for more. In the next few weeks, we're going to be announcing how this is all going to work for Albuquerque.
Hi, my name is Daniel. I'm from West Mesa Community Center, and my question to the mayor is, why can't the kids with the coronavirus stay home and the kids that do not have the virus go to school?
Thanks, Daniel. Good question about school. And basically the reason why is because we know the disease is transmitted when little particles come from your mouth or your nose and hit someone else. And we know that basically you have to be 6 feet apart to be safe from that, or wearing face masks or face coverings. And the challenge with school is everyone's just so close having all that fun. So that's why people couldn't go to school, because also you don't necessarily know if you're carrying the disease, because not everyone shows signs of it. So you could be passing it on and you don't even know. So that's why we canceled school. But what we're hoping is that school will resume in August as normal. And again, there's lots of time between now and then, but sometime over the summer we'll let folks know. But school, like our summer programs, might be a little bit different. There might be lots of different rules about how you can't be super close together, or we might be checking your temperature on the way in and things like that. So stay tuned for more on school, but hopefully in August school will be able to resume in some form.
I'm Alvis. I'm 4. When are the swimming pools going to open?
Elvis, great question. And I'm so excited too for swimming this summer. And I'm impressed, by the way, if you're swimming already. So good job with that. And for everyone who wants to swim, we're looking at this and how we can do it. And I want to remind you that if you're with your family, it's okay to swim. There's nothing dangerous about the water at all. In fact, the water in some ways is healthy when it comes to things like viruses. So it's okay to swim, but for all our city pools and all the lessons that we do, right now we're in the planning phases. We might be able to do some swimming by appointment, for example. You might have to reserve a certain time, and maybe our pools are only operating at half capacity, and you have to stay kind of separate from folks. So we're gonna probably give it a try and see how it works. And if it's okay, we'll keep doing it. And so it is gonna not happen probably until June. So we got a ways to go until our pools are gonna be open in some form.
Hi, Mayor Eller. My name is Cerise, and I'm 7 years old, and I would like to know how masks protect you from coronavirus.
Thanks, Cherise. Good question. I know a lot of people want to know if they should wear masks or not and so forth, and I got this awesome one here that Danielle's sister made. She's the one filming right now. And so thanks so much for the cool mask. But the masks actually are really important because when you talk, even like I'm doing now, small, tiny water droplets come out of your mouth. And we all know this, like if we sneeze, then we usually really notice that. And so the point of the masks is that it blocks a lot of those water droplets that could have the coronavirus in it. So it just helps reduce the exposure to each other from each other's tiny water droplets that could be coming out of their mouth. So it's just a nice way you can do it, and any material is better than no material, so even a bandana or a scarf. But if you can, try and do like a sheet type material or like a pillow sheet, and then put 2 layers. And that's really the best kind of mask you can use.
Hola, Mayor Keller. Mi nombre es Román y mi pregunta es cuándo nosotros podemos ir pescando. Hi, Mayor Keller. My name is Roman. My question is, when are we going to be able to go fishing and camping?
Hola, Ramon. Muchas gracias for that question. And the good news is, I think in May, probably maybe the middle of May, we're going to start opening up state parks and also things like Tingley Beach. So if our numbers continue to look good, so as of today, I think in a couple of weeks, we might be able to start opening these up, and that means you can do hunting and fishing again. But there's also in camping. There's also going to be probably some more rules, so you might have to stay again a little bit separate from each other, and you also might have to reserve a time, especially like if you want to go to Tingley Beach. So stay tuned for how that's going to work. But the good news is we're not too far away from getting back to fishing and camping.
Hi, my name is Mallory, and I am 9 and I am in 3rd grade. My question is, will there ever be a cure for COVID-19?
Hi, Mayor Keller. My name is Julian and I'm 9 years old. I'm wondering, do you think they will find a cure for the coronavirus? Thank you.
Mallory and Julian, great questions and cool t-shirts, by the way. Love the unicorn, one of my daughter's favorites, and the Zia Pride. So with respect to your question, basically there's no cure, so to speak, like right away or anytime soon. So we are going to have to get used to this, we think, for some time, maybe a year or 2 years or even 3 years. But what's happening is our scientists are working super hard, and they're trying to come up with something called a vaccine or some other different treatments that can help us if we do get sick. And so I know they're working very hard, and we're very good at this in America. So I'm optimistic that we're going to have some different options that will help us in anywhere between 6 to 18 months. So hopefully that'll happen. And what it means is you might have to get like a shot, like a flu shot that you might already get, but you might also get a corona shot. And so you might have to have one of those painful shots, but it'll be worth it. So hopefully in the next few years we'll have that. But I want to remind you, there's nothing available right now, and that's why all of these annoying rules are so important.
My name is Jet Branch. I'm in 5th grade and I go to Manzano Day School. And my question is, if there's no coronavirus vaccine, will we have to go back to school during the fall?
Jet, that was a good follow-on question. And so really what this means is that we actually believe that it's going to be possible to go back to school in the fall, but it might be a little bit different. Again, there might be some rules where you have to get your temperature taken. You might have to be in sort of a smaller group instead of your whole class. There's all sorts of ideas out there. We might even alternate days of school. And the good news is our country and our school system, they got a couple of months to figure this out. So I think the encouraging news is we do believe that people will be able to go back to school even without a vaccine, but it's going to be a lot different. And also we need to be ready just in case. We might have to close down a school. So if there's a particular, somebody tests positive at a school, might have to close it down for a couple of days till we can understand who that person's been in contact and things like that. So I think it's going to be an interesting fall. It's going to be a different fall than you've probably ever had before, but hopefully we'll still be able to go to school.
Hello, my name is Daniel. I'm 12 and in the 6th grade. I was wondering, you've been telling us to stay home and social distance, but there's still many positive cases of corona every day. Is there anything more we can do to stop the spread?
Well, good question. And there's actually lots you can do. That is one thing about the coronavirus, is that there's things we can all do personally to actually help out. So other things are, you can wash your hands really good all the time for that long 20 seconds, whether it's a slow happy birthday or the ABCs, sing that song and do really good. Wash your hands really after you touch anything outside your house, and several times throughout the day as well, and especially before and after you eat. So also you can make sure and cough in your elbow like that, and also if you sneeze, those are good things you can do. You can wear a face covering like the one I showed right here, and you can also stay 6 feet away from everyone. And so at least outside the house, if you do see your neighbors and things like that, just make sure and stay 6 feet away. And also you can just be nice to each other, whether it's other kids or it's your parents. Everyone right now is kind of a little bit anxious and sometimes stressed out. And so a good thing you can do is just be nice and kind to each other every day. Now, I think actually that's the end of our questions. I want to thank all the kids for these great questions, everyone watching, and very insightful, and it's great to see a lot of your faces. Hang in there at home and stay tuned for more on all that's going to be happening in our city and in our state. And we're very optimistic that we're going to be able to start reopening slowly in a staggered way sometime in the next few weeks. So stay tuned for more on that. And I know it's all a little bit confusing right now. There's no solid answer to every question, but that's okay. We're going to get through this as one Albuquerque, and I know that we're going to be able to enjoy this great city of ours this summer. Thanks so much.